Sacramento, what is going on? Sacktown Pete back at it again. The New York Knicks played the Sacramento Kings today. It was a very good close game. This game went down to the wire until the last 3 minutes. The Knicks pulled away. Final score from New York, 103 to 87. The Kings lose to the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. Mike Brown gets his payback back. They both split the series now 1-1 on the season. And, I'm not surprised by the Knicks pulling away at the end. They are the much better team. And the Kings, this game, don't let the final score fool you guys. This game was right there for the Kings. Till the last 3 minutes of the game, they just, a couple bonehead mistakes led them to get Knicks to get that separation. And that was pretty much the game. Let's talk about the numbers with the starting five. So DeRozan in 39 minutes, he had 34 points, 5 boards, 0 assists. Precious Chu in 24 minutes, he had 6 points, he had 5 boards, 0 assists. Sabonis in 33 minutes, he had 11 points, 12 boards, 7 assists. Russell Westbrook in 33 minutes today, he had 14 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. Nick Clifford in 30 minutes today, he had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. He started again for Zach LaVine, him and Malik Monk were both ruled out. Both of their names have been in the rumor mill, so I'll cover more of that. We'll talk about that in a sec. Max off the bench in 15 minutes, he had 4 points, 3 boards, 0 assists. Dylan Carwell in 22 minutes today, he had 4 points, 10 rebounds, 0 assists, 2 blocks for Dylan Carwell. Keon Ellis played 22 minutes today. He had 3 points, 1 board, 1 assist. And Dennis the Menace Schroeder had 23 minutes. He had 4 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, and 2 steals. This game was there. Like I said, it was like a 4-point game with a little over 3 minutes to play. And then a couple of bonehead mistakes, or bonehead possessions, should I say, by the Sacramento Kings, led to the New York Knicks just pulling away. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges made some big-time shots, and OG Anunoby was big-time as well for them tonight. And they pulled away. They're the better team. The better teams always find a way to pull away at the end, or just go in another acceleration. They go in another mode where the Kings just they're not that good enough to go in that mode. Not tonight, at least. So with that being said, the trade deadline's next Thursday. I mean, even if you do make some trades, your season's not. There's not going to be no season-changing trade where the Kings are going to make the playoffs after making a trade or two. It's not going to happen. I want to bring that optimism and hope that you guys have for that to happen. It's just the reality is that they're 12 and 36. That's just there's no way in hell they're going to make up for this first half or most of the season so far. And it sucks to say that because I really thought this team would be decent this year, but they're not. And speaking of the trades, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make any moves. I mean, the word is nobody wants Zach LaVine, nobody wants DeMar DeRozan, and nobody wants Malik Monk in his contract, which I don't think it's a bad contract. It's a friendly contract. He's got 2 years left on his contract. DeMar DeRozan's partially guaranteed for next season. And, Zach LaVine might be the harder piece to move because he's got a $48 million player option, which I highly doubt he's going to opt out of. At this point, I would be really shocked if he does. But they're stuck. The Sacramento Kings are stuck in this loop right now where they just, nobody wants their players. Nobody wants their contracts. And, this is what I get why fans were kind of hoping that they would have looked at the Chicago Bulls and they would not be stuck where the Bulls were pretty much stuck there, and they eventually moved on, and the Kings were the team that took on Zach LaVine's contract, and the Kings were the team that signed DeMar DeRozan. So now we're stuck, and I'm not disappointed. I'm not surprised, but the way I see it, guys, ultimately, if the main goal is to get the highest pick possible in the upcoming draft, you can still sustain that. You can still manage to do that if you don't make any moves. Yes, if you don't move Zach LaVine, if you don't move DeMar DeRozan, if you don't move Malik Monk, I'll throw in Sabonis' name in there as well. If you don't move Domantas Sabonis, you can still achieve getting the worst record in the Western Conference or achieve getting a very, very high draft pick with this current constructed roster. And they're bad enough where even if you do move on for some of the veteran players, you're still going to be garbage after the trade deadline, and it's still, that goal still could be attainable. So, as crazy as that sounds, and as crazy as I'm saying this because I don't want that to happen, but the reality is that it would have been nice to potentially, get rid of some of those contracts that we have on the books. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a quiet deadline for the Kings. I mean, do I see the Kings making moves? At all the roster names, the person that I have named is Keon Ellis. If teams are desperate, if there's a desperate team out there that needs wing help, that needs help with the three ball, that's a contender that's looking to add that piece, they might be desperate enough to offer a first-round pick for Keon Ellis, then yeah, I wouldn't hesitate. You do the trade. You trade Keon Ellis. I know Keon Ellis fans don't want to hear that, but reality is that I've accepted that. You guys got to accept it too. The Kings have not offered Keon Ellis an extension. He's going to potentially probably leave after the season if the extension is not offered, and it looks like it's not going to be offered. And if they can get a first-round pick for him instead of letting him walk, for nothing, then yes, it's a no-brainer. You do that. Supposedly, the word is they are looking for a first-round pick for Keon Ellis. And if you get that, great. That would be a miracle to get a future first-round pick for a Keon Ellis, who's pretty much going to be probably gone after the season because he's not under contract. So, with that being said, the deadline's next Thursday, 12 p.m., I believe. And we shall see if the Kings make any moves. But as much as active and as much as they made that trade deadline to get Zach LaVine for De'Aaron Fox, to trade for Jonas Valanciunas for 20 plus games, and then trade him again in the offseason to Denver, I wouldn't be surprised if this trade deadline's a quiet one, guys. And am I okay with that? I mean, I don't want to say I'm okay with that, but the reality is that they are stuck. They're stuck with those contracts that I mentioned before, and just wouldn't be surprising if they do not make any moves. So with that being said, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the Kings game tonight and losing in New York against the Knicks. Let me know your thoughts about the trade deadline. If you guys see anything there, greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Have yourself a great evening. Have yourself a great rest of your night. Take care. God bless. Keep pushing forward. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.